for your guys going into tomorrow? I mean, does there need to be one at this point?
No, I don't think so. I think, both coaches on both sides, there's not, you get to a game 7, you know what's at stake. You play all year to get to this point, and, you get one opportunity, and it'll be there. So just stay in the moment, enjoy it, embrace it, and don't get small. Don't get wound up. Just, like I say, stay in the moment, stay calm, and give your best effort.
Tom Quility, NHL.com.
Barry, I know you say momentum does not carry over. But in 2018, what did was it the confidence of winning Game 6 at home that helped you guys go in and you feel maybe something similar could happen here?
Well, I think you had to put so much into Game 6 to get to Game 7, and you just don't want it to slip you because you put the work in, and so have they on the other side. So. I just remember for us, it was huge because we were in the right to get to that Game 7, and because we had lost 3 in a row to Tampa, and it gave us confidence. Hey, that you play this way, you have a chance to win, and I thought our game, we carried a lot of that game over because it just. It happens so quick. You get from Game 6 and get the one chance. And yeah, I don't know if it'll carry over. They're going to be a different team at home. They have been, and we just got to be ready for it.
Bruce Beck, NBC.
Hey, Barry, grit is not easy to define, but it's easy to identify. And your team showed it last night on the brink of elimination. Just wanted to know what you saw from your club last night.
I saw resiliency. I saw determination. I saw what I've seen all year is a team that has backbone, has character, has all that. And I can tell you where it really, to me, showed. It was, they scored their second goal, and we were playing well. And I thought at that point we shouldn't be down 2-0, but we were, and our bench was great. Our bench just said, we got lots of time. I felt really good. You looked up, I think there was like 7.5 or 8 minutes to go, and our team started to go. It sort of flattened out maybe for 1 or 2 shifts, but our bench was great. And you could see that there was some momentum building, and it was line after line. And, and then Jordan scored, and then, we finished that period down a puck, and I was pretty confident we were going to at least go to overtime last night, if not win the hockey game. You could see it in their eyes. They're a really resilient group, and that's why I think you just you feel it on the bench when they wanted that last night.
Neil Best, Newsday.
Other than the obvious of a great player not being on the ice, did you see anything different in their power play approach, strategically or stylistically without Kucherov?
Well, obviously, with Kucherov, obviously he a lot of stuff runs through him, and he's so good with the deception and all that. It's not bad to fill in with a Palat, who's a pretty good hockey player as well. So. I think anytime you take one guy off a power play, it changes dynamic. It has to go through different people sometimes. So, with Kucherov, obviously he's got, I think, 15 or 16 power play assists. So obviously he distributes the puck probably better than anybody at least this year in the playoffs. So, from that standpoint, there will be a little bit of a difference.
We'll take a couple more for Coach. Kevin, News 12.
Hey, Barry, in Game 4, you get Ryan's big save. Game 6, you get an overtime winner from a guy who was in a scoring slump. Is that the beauty of the playoffs?
Yeah, it is.
Never know who it's going to be.
It is. And I think I said it yesterday. I mean, you talk about, unlikely heroes, big moments. I talked yesterday about, the playoff journey. As a coach or a player, you have it a certain way in your mind, and it never goes that way. And that's why you have to stay present. You have to, you know, be in the moment and create that moment, whatever that moment may be. And when you look back, you know, the hindsight, 2020 hindsight, when all the dust settles, you define those defining moments. You name them as that, because you don't know when they come, and they come at the strangest times, and there's unlikely heroes, and there's just strange things that happen that are out of everybody's control, you know, that are on the ice and behind the bench. And you just gotta deal with whatever's thrown at you. You just got to deal with it and not be, you know, frustrated with it, or not be overwhelmed, or you know, why me? It's just, you just deal with it and move on. And actually, you try to do it with a smile on your face that, you know, you can't get me type of thing. And you know, no matter what you throw at me, it's how you deal with it. So that's the beauty for me, is that how the human spirit sort of reacts to all those different elements that come at you.
We'll take one or two more. David Lazar, New York Post.
Hey, Barry, could you just attest to the development of Scott Mayfield from the time you got to the island, and specifically the postseason?
Yeah, I can tell you, when I first got here, you know, I didn't know anything about Scotty. I didn't know anything about a lot of the players that were here, but I was obviously looking at trying to fix the back end in terms of the goals against, because they had their goals against was horrendous, last in the league. And, you know, so obviously I was focused on defensemen, and I thought, you know, a few of our defensemen had some potential, Scotty being one. And as we went through it, I thought Scotty was just trying to do a little bit too much early in his career, trying to be that, you know, that offensive defenseman, and trying to make, you know, plays that aren't there, forcing things. And I just simply, once I figured out, you know, what his strengths and weaknesses were, we got him to simplify his game a little bit, and complement the attack at the appropriate time, and not force things. He has length, he has strength. He's a good penalty killer. You know, he protects the net well, and he started buying into, you know, his best identity. I think for him, get down your foundational stuff first, and he did. And now you're seeing a really good, you know, defenseman who can defend and plays a hard game, and you know, he's playing a lot of minutes for us. So that's what you want. You know, the Pelech, Polak, and Mayfield were three young guys that we needed their development to go in the right direction if we were going to be able to sustain anything, and they have.
Last question, Colin Stevenson.
All right, last game you were down there. It was an ugly result.
It was a disaster, actually, if you want to be more accurate.
I was trying to be kind, but I mean, you know, how do you know that, you know, not that score, but how do you know that you'll be better in this game? Will it be you know, something to the effect that you allowed the first goal last night and still won, and that you trailed going into the third period and still won? Does that change things for you guys, or what's going to be different?
No. I just think it was one of those one-offs that we, you know, you look at the first two goals. I mean, on us, we turned pucks over. They came back. They tried to make plays. We in desperation went down. It rattled off things. It was just one of those strange games. And then we got out of character, and you know, they got 3 power play goals, and it just went downhill. And games are going to do that sometimes. They get away from you, and you can't get them back. I think you're going to have 2 focused teams. Game 7. The chance to go to the Stanley Cup. I mean, it doesn't get much better than that for either organization and all the players and all the coaches. It just doesn't. These are things that, you know, when you're a young kid or young coach, you dream of these situations. And so there's one tomorrow night, and that's fantastic.
Bye.